Are you struggling with bloating, low energy, weight loss resistance, even brain fog? It might not be your age. It might be your gut, because gut health impacts everything from digestion to metabolism, even mental clarity or how you're feeling emotionally. And here's the kicker. Menopause makes it even trickier. Today, we're breaking down the gut health midlife connection and what you can do to make it better. It's going to be a good one, so grab your coffee and let's get into it. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. We have a new co-host. Mike is looking a little different, a little prettier today.
Yeah, you got an upgrade.
Yeah, you guys know who she is, though. She's been here quite a bit. If you're my client, you definitely know who she is because you've probably spoke to her on the phone during a consultation. My daughter is here with us today. She is also on the team and does a lot of stuff for our coaching program, but also she handles the consultation call. So if you guys book a consultation call to see if you want to work with Mike or myself, you're not actually going to talk to me first. You're going to talk to Alyssa.
Yes, I always give that disclaimer too.
What do you say?
I'm like, I don't know how much you know about Janine or Mike in that case, but I'm actually Janine's daughter. So
yeah.
I promise you're going to be in good hands today.
Now, do they usually know already?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love
about
that.
like 99% of people. And the people, and there's some people that are like that don't say like, oh yeah, I know who you are, but I already know, like they know who I am.
Yeah. They're like, you just moved to San Diego and you got a dog and her name is Scarlett.
Yeah. They follow the whole journey.
That is too funny. I love that though, because that is my favorite client to work with. Someone that's already kind of followed and they know me because I'm very much me on YouTube. And some people get, if you watch my videos, you get to kind of know my personality. So
that's what I say.
Yeah, those are the best clients. I actually tell you to tell them to go back and watch some videos first.
I do. I have been telling them, yeah.
Yeah, because it just makes a better coach-client relationship.
Yeah, because they kind of figure out who you are as a person, now relate to who you are as a coach.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of synergies there. So we're going to talk about gut health today. And I think it's a really good timing to talk about gut health because my Bold, Balanced, and Confident program is registration. If it's not open already, it's about to open. And we do a different theme for every round. This is round 17, by the way. I've done 17 of these. And this round is...
Oh, gut health.
Oh,
is that
gut
it?
health?
Is that it? Just gut health?
It's gut health in general. And at first I wasn't sure because for every round I redesigned the logo a little bit. And I thought, is this inappropriate if I'm going to use poop in the logo? But I did it. I used a poop emoji in the logo.
But it was cute.
It's a cute poop.
I approved of it.
Yeah, because at first you said, no, Mom, no. But she has approved of the poop logo for round 17. Rest assured, though, the program still includes everything that you need in order to be on your weight loss journey. So you get the workouts, the macros, the food. That's my favorite part. The food, all of the delicious meals and the meal tracker. But every round we do a little workshop on something else to shed light on, to teach, so that everyone walks away from each round a little smarter, depending on the topic. And specifically in midlife, gut health changes. So a lot of people, maybe they've had perfectly good gut health their entire lives, and then they hit midlife and suddenly bloating, constipation, diarrhea, all the things. So we're going to talk about gut health today, but we're also going to dive super deep into gut health on round 17. So if you're not on the wait list, or if registration is open and you haven't registered, make sure you register because it's going to be a good round.
Yeah, I think it's a good round every round, but I think this one will be getting a little personal.
Yeah, that's so true. But we already do, so it's like, why not talk about poop?
Yeah.
Why not? I'm always very comfortable with it. Sometimes my one-on-one clients, when I just come right out and ask them, like, how often do you poop? Oh, we talk about that. Like, I need to know those things. They're important.
Oh, very important. My coach used to ask me that too.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I love that because so many people are why are you uncomfortable? I have news. Everybody does it. Like everybody poops. Every single person poops. Hopefully every day.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
And if you don't, that's a problem.
And if you don't, you should be in round 17 of PVC because we're going to get into how often you poop. But before we do, you guys follow us on candidly_with_coffee on Instagram. Scan the QR code on the screen so that you have all our pertinent links so that you're downloading our podcast, so that you're subscribed to us on YouTube. And so you have all of the links for all of our sponsors and discounts. And so you can follow us on our personal social media. So make sure you do that and all of that information is there. Now I'm going to share a little comment corner. I have a comment from Anita Ferry 3244. She said, I enjoyed this content so much. I'm a co-manager in a gym and I see what you mentioned all the time with people, mistakes, habit, and attitude, etc. So she's talking about how we were talking about how in a gym, if you walk through a gym and you look around, the majority of people are making mistakes of some sort.
Yes.
Isn't it crazy? Mm-hmm. Like the majority of people are using the machines incorrectly, improper form, just not paying attention on their phone, not really utilizing the time. So I thought that was good. Now this comment is, I am South Am, I think, I don't know, or I am Southam. I'm committing to going back to the gym. I've tried doing it at home and I just have zero motivation. So so glad I found your channel. Love the advice and vibe. Thank you so much, by the way, of all your support and comments on all of our content. I've definitely noticed that and I appreciate it so much. And I'm that way too, by the way. I need to go to a gym. I cannot get into it at home. I try, but it's awful. It's a going through the motions. It's a just not interested.
Well, yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Everyone's different. I think what helps is having like a pre-workout routine, like getting into a cute outfit, playing some pump-up music, doing your hair all cute. So that you're excited.
A workout at the home?
Yeah.
At the home? At the home?
At the home.
But I don't see, the problem is when I work out at home, I don't do all of those things, and that would make a difference.
Yeah. Doesn't matter where you go.
Yeah, because if I get in a cute outfit and just gussy up a little bit, it makes me feel better. Just in general, just in life, just every day, to be honest. Because on the days that I've even started doing that because on Mondays, because we all meet the whole team on Mondays via Zoom. Alyssa's not local, so she Zooms in. How horrific do I look for those meetings half the time? Pretty bad.
No, you don't.
Oh,
you don't look
pretty
bad.
But I've started telling myself that even on Mondays, because Mondays is when I do all my client check-ins, and it's a heavy work from my desk day. And a lot of times I don't put myself together. But lately I've been like pulling myself together because I feel better. I perform better when I feel better. And I feel better when I put a little makeup on, get a cute lounge outfit on. You started doing that, like wearing a cute like lounge outfit. Have you stuck with it or no?
No, yeah, I'm wearing my lounges.
Your lounges? The ones, all the ones I got you for Christmas?
Yeah. Got like 5 pairs of lounge.
I know, but cute matching sets, I think that's important. I did a video on that. I just think it's important because we get away from it with the whole work from home and stuff sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, I don't think it affects me right now, at least for how I work. I definitely don't do my makeup. No. I rarely do my makeup in general.
Yeah.
And I feel like for me, doing my makeup would just be a waste of time because I could, instead of doing my makeup right now, I could be working. So that's my mindset personally.
But you're young and have the natural beauty still. When I don't do my makeup, I look like a wrinkled bag of bones.
No, please. I don't.
All right, you guys, let's get into, first let's take a break actually. Let's take a break from Mega Fit Meals and we'll be right back. Hey everyone, you know I'm all about making life easier while staying on track with your health and fitness goals. And that's why I love Mega Fit Meals. MegaFit Meals is your go-to for macro-friendly meal prep that tastes amazing. Whether you're crushing your fitness goals or you just want a convenient way to eat clean and delicious meals, MegaFit has you covered. They've got everything from high-protein favorites to keto-friendly options and everything in between. Plus, the meals come perfectly portioned, ready to heat and eat, saving you time and stress. And the best part, you can save on your orders by using my code JEANINE at checkout. Head over to megafitmeals.com and check it out. Don't forget to use my code JEANINE because when life gets busy, MegaFit Meals keeps you on track. All right, welcome back. Let's get into it. Let's get right into gut health and midlife, the missing link. Why is gut health everything? Why is gut health important? It affects everything. Digestion, bloating, metabolism, fat storage, your hormones, and menopause makes gut health worse, by the way. It slows down digestion when your progesterone drops, your estrogen drops, and suddenly you become even sensitive to things that didn't bother you before. So many people become lactose intolerant. Are you still lactose intolerant?
A little,
Really?
yeah.
What do you struggle with bloating?
Yes.
Is that an issue you have? Have you been able to pinpoint what it is?
Yeah, it's I think it's dairy. Mm-hmm. But I can't
Not do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
love dairy
remember
too
you were
much.
having tummy aches a lot when you were young, and we figured out that you were having ice cream at night.
No, cereal.
Oh, cereal.
Cereal with milk.
Cereal.
But I think mainly when I feel super bloated is after I have eaten something that's like not healthy, like junk food or like
me too.
overindulged. That's when I feel bloated and not even like I overeat that, but even if it's I eat a normal amount of something that's really unhealthy.
Me too. I'm the same. So as soon as I decide to splurge on something or have something like is indulgent, I feel it immediately. I think that's part of the reason why I don't restrict clients at all on certain foods, because it'll happen naturally over time. You just will connect with the things that make you feel good, and you'll do more of that, and you'll inadvertently avoid things that make you feel bad because you become very connected to how you feel when you eat things. And that's a big part of it. So the gut health also affects energy and sleep. And the biggest one that people do not realize is gut health affects your mental health, because a good majority of the serotonin that our bodies produce actually is produced in your gut. A lot of people don't realize that. But that's why there's the whole gut feeling. People say, I have a gut feeling. Or why if you're nervous or depressed or sad or something traumatic happens, you vomit a lot of times. It's because a surge of the hormone. It's in your gut. It's the gut, mental health, gut connection. Inflammation and immune function is impacted by gut health too. So how does menopause change gut health? Well, it slows down it messes with your digestion completely. And it can slow down metabolism, and it slows down digestion, meaning you can get bloated much more easily. And again, different foods that maybe didn't affect you before, now you become sensitive to. It's not your imagination. Also in menopause, we have our stomach acids decrease. And stomach acids is what breaks down the food. So it decreases a lot of times with the decrease in estrogen. And when you have less stomach acid, your food doesn't break down, you get bloated. That's why I think sometimes if you introduce a food, an indulgent food that you're not used to eating, it's that your body's not equipped to break it down. And that's why it'll bloat you. Like, what that? Because it's foreign. Because your body gets familiar with the way you eat regularly, and it will have the enzymes ready to go to break those down. This is also why, have you ever noticed that even when you clean things up or increase your protein or start any new type of regimen when it comes to eating, you get bloated a little at first?
Yeah.
So it's not uncommon. And a lot of times people think, see, I felt better when I ate unhealthy. No, it's just your body was equipped to digest the unhealthy food now that you're eating more protein, maybe more healthy fats, it takes some time for your body to adjust. Did you deal with that at all when you were competing?
Yeah. It in the beginning, not so much, but when I got towards the end and I was like super lean, it was so easy for me to tell when I was bloated because I just had like barely any fat on my body. And so it was really easy to kind of, and I was eating like very minimal types of food. So it was really easy to pinpoint what was causing the bloating and what I needed to remove. But I definitely experienced bloating when I was competing.
That's why a lot of people will think like, oh, so you can only lose weight if you eat whole foods or it has to be like perfect. It's not that. It's just that when you only eat whole foods, there's less ingredients to impact digestion. So it's easier to pinpoint. Like you just said, it's easier to pinpoint what the issue is. So when you're competing and it's detrimental to what you're going to look like on stage and you're on a very big time crunch, you don't have time to realize that the salad dressing that you're using had an oil that triggered you to be bloated. Because if you get bloated and it's show date, you're screwed. Yeah. You are screwed. There go your abs. You're just done for. So that's why when it gets close to show date, coaches will strip away all the bells and whistles, the sauces, the processed foods, the protein powders, because they're trying to eliminate the risk of bloating. It has nothing to do with the fact that those things make you gain weight or prevent you from losing body fat. It's not that at all. And that's a common misconception. It is gut health related and removing variables for your gut health.
Yeah, for me, it was olive oil. And she made me switch to coconut oil. I was like, oh, I don't like coconut oil.
Oh, shoot. Do you know what a common thing with olive oil that causes you to get bloated is cheap olive oil or improperly stored olive oil? It shouldn't be stored above the oven because it gets too hot up in that cabinet. It also needs to not have direct sunlight on it. So it needs to be in an amber colored bottle so that it stays dark. Because if olive oil goes bad, it is going to make you super bloated.
Yeah, it was definitely over the oven.
Yeah, I used to keep it there. I didn't know. So you have to have an amber bottle and keep it in a room temperature. A lot of people don't realize that. It's delicate. A good quality olive oil is actually really delicate. Another reason that you get bloated or your gut health is impacted in midlife is it's like the perfect storm, right? Your mood is poor, your sleep is poor, your cortisol is high, so you end up eating more, you crave more sugar and carbs. Well, sugar and highly processed foods can feed the bad gut bacteria and it can throw off the balance of your gut microbiome. So when the bad gut bacteria overpowers the good, that's when you get bloated.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not good. But also, even when you have, when you're first growing, creating a balance, you're trying to create the balance and you want to put a probiotic in to create the good gut bacteria, that can also create bloating too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it throws off, the gut needs a balance. It needs a balance. And even if it's overgrown with good, that's a problem too.
Yeah, I just know that for like the processed foods and foods high in sugar and things like what you said, man, after I eat those things, I feel bad for high the next day because it's not very pleasant.
You get bad gas?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't, you know what? It's so funny because ever since I eat moderation, so even treats, even things, I just eat in moderation. I don't overeat things anymore. I don't have that issue.
No, I don't either. It's when I
overconsume.
Like we went to the Melting Pot. It's like a fondue place for Valentine's Day, and it was cheese. And then you finish with like a chocolate dipper.
Whew. That made for a good Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, we just had that. You made that Dubai chocolate. Have you guys ever heard it's viral, by the way, but it is, I love it. I want more. It was so good. Is it hard to make?
It wasn't hard to make, but I think if I had gotten like a different kind, it would have been better. I feel like the quality of the chocolate could have been better.
Yeah, but I want to get some. I thought it was really good. But anyways, in the past, I would never have been able to have just a little bit of that. I would have needed to eat the entire bar. And it was huge. So this time I had just a little bit, and I was fine. It didn't bother me. But that is a perfect example of something that if I would have had the entire bar or more, like as much as I wanted, then I would have been dying.
Yeah.
It would have I would have been done for. All right, so now let's talk about the signs that you might be having that indicate that you have a gut health problem. Bloating, constipation, and diarrhea. I think that's kind of obvious. Let me just get a little more into the constipation though, because people sometimes assume that just because they go daily that they're not constipated, but you can still accumulate a backup if you're going daily, if your bowel movements aren't productive.
So what does that mean?
It means that you're going, but you're not going as much as you need to go. And a lot of times it's not a gut health issue, but you're creating the issue because you're not allowing proper time on the toilet.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. I should have given this episode a warning because people rush. And if you just sit there and relax for a little bit, you'll realize that you're not actually done. Because if you're not done and you rush off, then you're going to create like compacting in the colon. And then that's going to lead to a gas buildup and the bloating and the discomfort, and it's going to create poor gut health. You need to clean out. That's what is going to, with productive bowel movements. That's what's going to help.
So what's your opinion on, I forgot what it's called, but it's where they like flush you out.
Oh, yeah, those colonics.
Colonics. What's your opinion on that?
I think that those kind of things can be a slippery slope because then people like rely on them. And anything that you do that's not a natural process interferes with the body's natural process. So it's kind of like if you do that, then your body, is not going to know to contract. The colon is going to lose its ability or lose its desire to contract when it knows it needs to contract because it gets done for it. The work is being done for it. So it stops. So what you don't use, you lose. So anything, like even, if you take a drug that generates a lot of serotonin, right? And you take that drug all the time that's giving you surges of serotonin. And then you suddenly stop taking that drug, whether it's an SSRI or a party drug, your body's serotonin production is going to be a problem for a while.
Yeah.
Your body's going to have to relearn how to make the serotonin on its own. So I'm a little reluctant I'll be honest, I don't know a whole lot about colonics, but I'm a little reluctant to introduce a process regularly that interferes with the body's natural process. I feel the same way about detoxes, like juice cleanses and all of that. Because if you fuel your body properly with the right food, hydration, minerals, micronutrients, the body will do all of those things on its own. The liver will detox on its own. Your colon will produce bowel movements on its own. I think supplementation is a better route, like making sure you are having fiber. A lot of times you can supplement, like I take the daily cleanse that has inulin in it or whatever that helps with the movement. Magnesium helps with the colon contractions. But I do feel that once you start taking the supplements, if you stop, you're going to have a period where everything's going to be out of whack. But so like a colonic, if you get super reliant on that, you're going to need to do those all the time. I would say though, if you are like extremely backed up, like you've had a poor gut health for a long time, or you're extremely constipated, you have been out of whack, doing like a one-time clean out might be a good idea.
Yeah, I've seen some info on that online.
And so what's your opinion based on what you've seen?
I don't really have an opinion. I just think it's crazy.
That people do that?
Yeah, well, not that people do that. It's crazy how compacted it could be.
Oh, I know.
Or impacted.
The problem is some people do it for weight loss. Like it's
God.
like a mental thing. Like, well, that's not body fat that's coming out. But I mean, that being said, if you are severely, because being a compacted bowel, which actually is a risk of Ozempic because Ozempic slows down gastric emptying so bad. And then if you are not hydrated and you get the compacted bowel, that's a severe complication of like Ozempic. So it's life-threatening. So there is a time and place for something like that. But just with everything, I always say just be careful. Moderation, don't abuse those types of things. Other things that could indicate an issue with your gut health are skin issues like acne or eczema and autoimmune flare-ups.
So the gut health is what causes those things.
The poor gut health could contribute to those things. So it could contribute to it causing an autoimmune flare-up. It also impacts your immune system as well. So it's really important to, if you have any of those things going on, autoimmune flare-up, cravings, brain fog, mood swings, anxiety also, because that could indicate like a serotonin issue, that could all be saying that you have an issue with your gut health.
So now what are your thoughts on vacation constipation?
I think I've kind of cracked the code on it a little bit. Obviously, one thing is we're very routine and bowel movements are a mental thing too. We tend to have a routine. We go at the same time every day, pay attention. You do. You may not realize it. And if you skip that time for whatever reason, then you might have constipation for a couple of days. So the body's very routine and regimented. That coupled with the fact that your schedule is off, you're in a different place, and you're likely not as hydrated because you're not walking around with your Stanley cup. So you're now dehydrated. You're likely on a vacation, so you're drinking alcohol that's going to further dehydrate you. And dehydration leads to constipation. And a lot of times on vacation, you're not on top of your supplements. You're not taking your nightly magnesium. You're not taking your supplements at the same time. I think those are all the reasons for vacation constipation. And if you can at least, now some of it, obviously you're not going to be able to eradicate because your schedule's going to be off. The mental connection to your own toilet's going to be off. But if you can make a concerted effort to get your hydration in and take your supplements, your magnesium, take your gut health supplements, take all of the things that you do at home at the same time that you do at home, I think it'll be a lot better. It was better for me when I went to Miami because I was last year, I was very on top of my everything else that was within my control. And it was better for me for the first time ever.
And I feel like stress can cause constipation too.
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
Because that's what happened to be at my competition, like the day of my competition, both competitions. And my coach was like, have you pooped? And I was like, nope, not even close. No movement happening. She's like, have some caffeine right now.
Do you remember? And then do you remember you spilled your caffeine in the bed?
I do remember.
You were
that.
so happy. I spent like $30 on a DoorDash to get her some espresso shots. And she's like, I'm so happy right now, and spilled it.
I about wanted to cry.
You were like 3 seconds away from a full-blown meltdown. I was like, it's okay. It's okay. I was trying to go into because once the meltdown, it's over. It's going to be like really, really difficult, but we survived it. We survived it for sure. I'm sure our gut health was not good after the cookie and sushi and donut palooza that both you and I partook in after that show.
I think we had like 3 cookies each.
They were 1,000 calories each cookie. Remember how excited we were?
I literally think we had 3 cookies each.
And then we had sushi. And then the next day, I was bloated. I couldn't even button my pants. And I had really bad gas too. And then we went to the donut shop and got donuts and ate donuts the whole way home. It was bad, you guys, bad. All right, let's take a little break for Transcend and we'll be right back. Hey everyone, I wanted to take a minute to talk about something that has truly been a game changer for Mike and I. HRT and peptides from Transcend. If you've been following our journey, you know that we're all about thriving, not just surviving, especially at 49 and 50 years old. Thanks to Transcend, we're looking and feeling our absolute best. Their personalized approach to hormone optimization and peptides has helped us boost energy, improve recovery, and stay on top of our game. And here's the best part. You can experience the same transformation. Transcend offers customized treatments designed just for you. Whether it's hormone balance, better sleep, or more energy, they've got you covered. Are you ready to get started? Use our exclusive link, transcendcompany.com/ESCO Elite. Book your consultation and take advantage of a 15% new patient discount. Don't wait. Your best years are still ahead, and transcendcompany.com can help you. Head to transcendcompany.com/ESCO Elite today and take the first step toward looking and feeling your best. Trust me, you won't regret it. All right, so now that we've got all that out of the way, let's talk about how to fix your gut. If you're struggling big time, like we need to just revamp your entire gut health, I would recommend cutting back on the processed foods. Like cutting them all the way out at first, and then you can slowly reintroduce them so you can clearly pinpoint what bothers me and what doesn't. So I would kind of like, you want to start at a clean slate and you want to remove as many variables as possible.
What about like allergens? Like if you're allergic to like getting an allergy test?
I think that's a good idea, but sometimes...
Or food sensitivity, I mean.
Yeah. Sometimes with the food sensitivity test, they come up with everything. Suddenly, you're sensitive to this, that, and then you get like hyper fixated and think that there's 100 things that you can't have. When you got to understand, a lot of times, you might have a slight reaction to certain things, but it's a cumulative issue. You know, maybe you're a little aggravated by egg whites, but do you eat a lot of egg whites? Like maybe it's an issue if you had egg whites every single day. So sometimes I feel that too much information can lead to like a shutdown or an overfixation or disordered behaviors towards food.
Yeah.
I prefer people not do that unless there is just truly a mystery, something going on. I think that just getting in tune with how you feel when you eat. When you eat anything in the right amount, okay, so first, don't overeat. That's number one. Number two, you should never have to unbutton your pants after you eat. If you have to unbutton your pants, you ate too much or you ate something that bothered you, so take note of it. It's not a normal thing to do. I used to think it was a normal. I'm like, oh, okay. And I also used to think I had an issue with olive oil because I would get bloated when I had olive oil. Turns out it was because the overconsumption of olive oil. So it wasn't that every time I had olive oil, it was that every time I was eating olive oil, I was also eating indulgent things, and a lot of them. When I eat a normal amount of olive oil, no issues. Go figure.
Go figure.
Go figure. So ditch the ultra-processed foods or scale back. Eat more fiber and prebiotics because prebiotics and fiber are going to feed your good gut bacteria. So chances are if you struggle with a lot of those symptoms, you've got more bad bacteria and not enough good bacteria. So we've got to grow it, right, by feeding it. Fiber and prebiotics, things like sauerkraut, kombucha,
kimchi.
Yeah, kimchi is another good one. So things like that will help feed your good gut bacteria. Prioritize protein, but make sure you're digesting it well. And if you are someone that has not prioritized protein before, prioritizing protein can actually impact your gut health initially. You can correct that by having a digestive enzyme that contains protease in it. That's going to help break down the protein, but it's not going to contribute to poor gut health, but it can contribute to bloating initially and also constipation.
Yeah, that's a very common thing I hear.
A lot of my clients, they're like, oh, I'm constipated all of a sudden. Drinking bone broth or collagen can help support your gut lining and reduce inflammation. So, you know, if you're constantly eating foods that are irritating your stomach, spicy foods or foods that do not agree with your stomach or your gut or your bad gut health, your bad gut bacteria is overgrown, that can wear at the stomach lining. And it can actually lead to leaky gut, or it can lead to just like an eroded gut lining that's going to contribute to an upset stomach, to bloating, to gas, and all of those things. So if you incorporate collagen and bone broth, it's going to help replenish that lining. Also, if after you've had a period of like food poisoning or a virus where you were vomiting, your gut health is going to be all out of whack. So collagen, bone broth, especially the prebiotics, the fiber, you especially need to like supplement with that after a bout of like say food poisoning, because when you vomit, you're getting rid of all the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. And so now you're going to have a hard time your body's going to try to get back in balance, but you want to help the process along.
I love bone broth.
You do?
I love bone broth.
Really?
But not just plain.
What do you like?
In the recipes.
Oh, you use it a lot in our recipes.
I use it
clients.
a lot in the recipes because one, it adds protein.
Yeah.
And
micronutrients. Yeah, it's good for you.
Yeah. And it's it replaces a lot of things that are usually higher in calories. Like I did a shrimp scampi recipe that instead of using white wine, I used bone broth. You can use it for cooking rice. I made shredded chicken by putting bone broth.
You guys just got a gem. If you don't walk away from this episode with at least that is such a good hack. Using bone broth as a replacement for even anytime something calls for water.
Water, yeah.
Because it's going to add flavor, it's going to add nutrients, it's going to add protein, it's going to be good for your gut health. No wonder those recipes are so good.
Yeah, when I made shredded chicken with it was really good. You just pan fry the chicken first for like 5 minutes each side, and then you add the bone broth and let that cook and simmer down, and then you're just pour everything in and you're able to shred it and super juicy.
Coming soon to the ebook that we're working on, you guys. Alyssa and I are working on an ebook that we'll have done probably around September. I think we're going to launch it, but it will be filled with these types of hacks. It's going to be filled with these types of hacks and filled with delicious, and I'm telling you, like delicious, family friendly, your kids will love it too, macro friendly, protein packed meals that your family will enjoy, that your kids will enjoy, that will help you stay on track and excited about your journey. So we're going to also incorporate little funny stories and anecdotes and hacks, because it's those kinds of things that make a huge difference.
Yeah.
I love that. And I was wondering, because Alyssa does a lot of the recipe creation for our ebook. And so she's submitting the receipts for the food. I'm like, dang, she buys a lot of bone broth. I didn't make the connection.
I just bought
you bought a big
pack from Sam's Club. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, what's the bone broth for? That's weird. Okay. Duh. It's in the recipes. I need to make the scampi. You said it's like really good.
You need to make the scampi. It's really good.
Oh boy. We drop new recipes in the client app every week, and the scampi one in this week. I need to try it. All right, so hydrating and managing stress. So stress directly impacts gut function. We just talked about that. And inadvertently, when we're stressed, sometimes we lack hydration. What do we do when we're stressed? A lot of you reach for alcohol, and that's going to really dehydrate you, really, throw off your gut health. So you got to make sure you hydrate. That's just super important. All right, you guys, let's take a little break for One Up Nutrition, and we'll come right back with your takeaways and your action items for this episode. Okay, guys, so I have to tell you about my favorite supplement brand. If you're not new here, it's One Up Nutrition. This is probably the only time in my entire life that I've been this consistent with my supplements. And let me tell you, it's been a game changer. Their Gut Health Plus and Daily Cleanse have completely transformed my digestive health. I feel amazing, and I'm never bloated. And don't even get me started on their protein powders, from the refreshing lemon Italian ice clear protein that I add to my yogurt pretty much daily these days, and their peanut butter cookie iso protein powder. I mean, their flavors are absolutely delicious. It's like having a treat while staying on track with your goals. If you're ready to level up your nutrition and try supplements that actually work and taste amazing, you're going to love One Up Nutrition as much as I do. Just head over to oneupnutrition.com, use code Janine at checkout for a discount, and try some of my favorites and start feeling your best today, because your health deserves the best, and so do you. All right, you guys, we're back. We are back. We're going to wrap this up. Basically, what I'm telling you is it's not your imagination. If you're in midlife or menopause or even premenopause, your gut health has changed. It does impact things. It does impact how you feel mentally, physically, emotionally. All of those things are not in your imagination, but the good news is you can do something about it. And even if you're not going to get on HRT, you can still, a lot of times I have a lot of people say, well, like, oh, all of these things are because my estrogen and progesterone are low. What if I can't take HRT? I'm screwed. You're not screwed. When you cannot take HRT, what you need to do is list out what are the things that are impacting me the most, and you tackle each thing holistically, with lifestyle medicine. So if gut health is impacting you, you can't get on HRT, which will fix a lot of that stuff. You can do a lot of the things we talked about today, like Alyssa was saying, like incorporating bone broth, prebiotics, hydration, gut health supplements, increasing your fiber. There are so many things that you can do that are going to correct your gut health, even if your estrogen remains low. And all of those things are going to snowball and make you feel better. And then you can go on to the next thing on the list of, the lovely things that happen to us in midlife, and you can tackle that too. So you don't have to give up. There are things you can do. And if you tune into this show, we're going to help you with all of that, because we're always going to have, little nuggets and gems of information that are going to help you in this stage of life. So imagine waking up without bloating, feeling clear-headed, and having steady energy. And that's what's going to happen when you fix your gut health. So let's see. All right. And on the next episode, we're going to talk about the biggest mistakes that people make in midlife when it comes to weight loss. So it's going to be a really good one. Lots of gems in that one. We'll see you on the next one.